everyone, welcome back to my channel. I asked on Instagram a while back what are some suggestions that you guys would like to see here on my channel, and one of the top suggestions was Denim ShadowSense, Amethyst ShadowSense, Silver Shimmer ShadowSense, colors that don't normally get used. So I kept it really neutral, kept it really simple. I'm kidding. I came up with this, and this is so out of my comfort zone, but I actually really love it. So I hope you enjoy it too. If you want to see how I got this look, then just keep watching. Okay, starting off with my eyes today, but before we get into that, I am going to prime my face with the Silk Pore and Wrinkle Minimizer. I like to do this first because I like to let it set for like at least 10 minutes before I do my makeup on top of it. So if I do this first and then do my eyes and then do my makeup, it's set in place before I go in with the rest of my face. So you want to make sure you always apply it in a downward motion, kind of pressing it into your pores. Never pull the skin, but just kind of press it in. I'm gonna do a little bit of lip volumizer. Let that soak in as well while we're working on the eyes. Before we do the eyes, I'm going to spot conceal the blemishes on my face so I can let the concealer sit before I go in with foundation. I'm going to be using our color correcting concealer in the shade Light. Okay, so I apply it to the places that I need to cover, and then I'm going to let it sit for like, I don't know, 30 seconds and start to kind of set before I blend it out. That's gonna keep it much more pigmented and cover up those blemishes a little bit better. Now we're starting with the eyes. I'm a little nervous. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Start off with Sandstone Pearl just to create a nice base, even out any veins or redness, veins or redness. Okay, I'm using the Sigma E60 large shader brush to blend that out today. Going in with my trusty, tried and true Mocha Java. Next, I'm going to take a little bit of Silver Violet, and on that same brush, run that through my crease. I'm going to keep it a little bit lower. This color like matches my hair perfectly. I don't know if that like totally does match my hair. All through my crease from outer corner all the way to the inner corner. Okay, so as you can see, I basically just put Silver Violet all over, but you can slightly see the Mocha Java right up there, which makes it much more of like a smooth transition, especially when you're working with colors. You want that really smooth transition. Before I get started with anything else, I'm going to put some Candlelight over these dark circles. I'm going to use the same E60 brush to blend that in. Next, I'm going to grab some Granite ShadowSense. I'm going to take it on a E32 shader brush from Sigma and just really pack that on my outer corner and my inner corner, and kind of keep it like out of the center of my lid as best as possible, but then connecting the two at the top of my crease. These cool tones are so out of my comfort zone, but I think it's fun to play outside of your comfort zone every once in a while. When you're working with darker colors like this, you definitely want to take your time to build them up. And then you can see, like as I'm doing this, you can hardly see the Silver Violet, you can hardly see the Mocha Java, but they are there and they serve a purpose. And I think it's really important to use them and really build your color. Last thing I'm gonna do is take some Denim. Denim has been such a requested color for me to use. On the same E32 and pack that on the outer corner. Still trying to keep that inner eye clean, but we're gonna go in and kind of carve it out so I'm not too worried about how clean it is. So it's always apply and then blend. So I apply with one brush and then blend out with another brush. And you can see I'm focusing more up here in this area and not so much down here, because I am going to just kind of erase that and remove that with some makeup remover. So I'm not too worried if I bring my color down that way. I want to focus more on the blending up high. I'm gonna go back into the Silver Violet and just kind of re-add that into my crease. It's gonna help just blend them all seamlessly. And lighten it back up because it kind of totally got covered up. For the cut crease, I'm going to use Whisper Pink. It's like a super pale pink. With cut creases, you want to use really flat, tiny brushes. Normally, when I do like a kind of your original cut crease where I start on the inner corner, I love to use this cut crease brush. It's the E62, but since I'm focusing more on the center of my lid, I'm going to use this E56 shader brush. So it's flat. So you can see it's really flat and pretty sharp. Okay, when you're doing this, you want to look down into your mirror. So my mirror is like right down here at this angle. So I'm looking down. And I'm going to start in the center where I want the highest point to be and just kind of stamp it on. And then I'm blending out these edges because I want a seamless blend right here. I want a sharp line up here, but I want this edge and this edge to be a seamless blend into those darker colors. You can see I'm just tapping it on there. I really like using my fingers to blend these edges together because it picks up any excess product and then it also rewarms color that's already kind of set into place. And so it really helps to blend them together. My biggest tip for cut creases too, or any type of more like intricate eye look, is just be patient and work a little bit at a time. Don't expect to finish one eye and then move to the next. Do a little bit on one eye and then do the same thing on the other and then evaluate where you're at and move forward. Okay, it's not a super sharp cut, so I'm gonna go add more. Remember, I'm doing this with pink or Whisper Pink. It's like a really pale, like whitish pink. Now I'm going to take the E32 again, this small little shader brush, and a little bit of Silver Violet. Kind of just pat that between the two to smooth and blend. And grabbing some more denim. I want more of like a winged kind of look right here, so I'm going to take more denim. I'm going to use this little short shader brush. This is the E20. Just kind of stamp it outwards and bring it back in and like fill in that area. Okay, grabbing the bigger shader brush. This is the E32 and using that to blend because it doesn't have any product on it. When you want a more diffused blend, you want to use a bigger brush, but when you want like a precise blend where you want to keep the product in place but just blend out the edges, a smaller brush is going to work really well for that. So see, I kind of like stamped on the V and then I pull it inwards to blend it. Another highly requested color to use has been Silver Shimmer, so that's what I'm going to use right now to apply that right over top of where we did the Whisper Pink. I am going to add just a tiny bit of liner, and I'm going to just use Denim ShadowSense for a liner on a small eyeliner brush, the E10 brush. We're just gonna do, I want like more of a kind of smoked out wing. Like I don't want it to be a harsh, dramatic wing. And I just want it to stay on that, like the outer third of my eye. I don't want it to come across the whole lid. Do you like it? It's kind of cool. I kind of want it a little bit more purpley though. Kind of feeling more of a purple vibe. I think I'll do some amethyst on my lower lash line. I'm gonna play around. Okay, daughter's crying. I have to go change her diaper real fast. Diaper's changed and clean, we are good. I'm going to put on a little bit of black lash sense, darken up these lashes. Okay, I am going to put on false lashes, but I'm going to wait until I finish to make sure everything's kind of pulled together before. Clean up this mess, this mess of blue. I am using a little bit of the Bioderma micellar water. I will link this in the description bar. It's just from Amazon. on a little pointed Q-tip. Cleaning that up. Wow, that was a little much. Alrighty, on my face, I'm using Dewy MakeSense Foundation. It's one pump on a lid, and I'm using the Sigma F80 flat top kabuki brush. It's my fave. I always kind of just pat it on the center of my face first, blend it outwards, because the center is where I like to have the most coverage. And then we're just gonna work on blending it outwards. I don't even really put much foundation down here. Before I go any further, I need to do a little bit more blending because this is driving me crazy. Well, I love, love, love ShadowSense. Sometimes once I've already got my eyes on and I do need to go back and do some more blending, it's really hard to do it with more ShadowSense. Sometimes you end up just pulling more off. I feel like right here is just not as blended as I'd like it to be. So I'm going to grab this brown color from my Anastasia contour palette. This one right here. It's literally the exact same shade as Mocha Java, but it doesn't have as much pigment. So it's really great to kind of just soften out any shadow. It doesn't add a ton of color. It's just really nice for soft. See a difference? I did it on this eye and not on this eye. So it just kind of makes everything seamless. Face is Dewy foundation. Bronzer, I'm going to use a darker foundation shade. This is the Advanced Anti-Aging formula in the shade Cafe au Lait. This is my angled kabuki brush, the E84. It's my favorite foundation brush. And what I'm gonna do is hold my brush like this, and I'm gonna slowly start to pump product out of this pump and run it along my brush like this. It's going to create a line of foundation, and then I can just kind of blend it out precisely where I want it. Like seriously, the tiniest bit. Using a really light hand, I'm blending it backwards and upwards. It's gonna lift my cheekbones, lift your face, keep it from looking muddy. What I love about using a darker foundation shade for bronzer is because it's a cream and because it's a foundation, it's made to look like skin. And so it really just blends well with my foundation that's already on there, and it just looks like I have like perfectly carved cheekbones, but a darker shade just kind of creates a hollow, like slimmer effect. Now for some highlighting and bronzing, I'm going to my trusty white and light concealer. I always use this. I mix using my F75 to mix the concealer and apply it in a V underneath my eyes. You can see I'm keeping it away from like directly underneath my eyes. When I blend it out, I'm going to work it upwards, but I don't like to put a ton of product in there because it can build up and settle underneath there. Go a little extra today because why not? So then I'm going to take the F64 soft blend concealer brush to just blend all of this out. Okay, as you can see, I do my concealer really light, and the reason I do that is because I set it with our natural powder, and even though our natural powder is supposed to be translucent, it does add like just the tiniest bit of color. So I like to do a little bit lighter because the natural powder is going to darken it just slightly. I'll show you what I mean when I set it. You see the difference from this eye to this eye? This one's a lot lighter still, and this one just kind of blends into the skin. And the reason I use natural powder instead of just using like an actual translucent powder is because this is the only powder that I found that doesn't make my under eyes look crepey or dry or settle. It's the most perfect, like it's a hydrating powder, which is like an oxymoron, but it is. It works. I'm using Smoked Topaz and my E65. Just carving out my brows. Okay, so after I do that, I like to go in with just a little bit of concealer to sharpen up. I'm gonna have kind of a dramatic under eye. So I'm gonna start with some Mocha Java. Again, for that really smooth, like building effect that I kind of talked about with my top lid. Probably not gonna see a ton of the Mocha Java, but I want it as a transition. So I'm taking this really tiny blending brush. This is the E36 blending brush. take the product off the wand like that and run it all underneath my lash line. And I am taking it pretty low and kind of far out. Okay, now Amethyst ShadowSense on that same brush, but I'm gonna try and be a little more precise with it and just keep it right on my lash line. Okay, I need some blush. What color blush do I want to wear? I'm gonna try Amethyst as my blush. I've never done this before. I'm a little bit nervous and I might end up topping it with something else, but we're gonna go with it. I am going to use a stippling brush that does already have some product on it, so it will probably kind of pinken it up a bit. But we'll see. I'm nervous. I really like a good cool toned blush. Ooh, okay. Okay, I see you, Amethyst. Okay, remember, this does have a little bit of like pink to it, but look. I'm gonna grab a clean brush. Use this Duo Fiber F50 and see if that makes it a little more purple. Okay. I like it. Do you guys like it? Amethyst as blush. Just keep building it. Okay, now remember, whatever you do to one side, you have to do the other. So honestly, I wish I would have just used this clean brush in the first place, but it'll look weird if I do just the clean brush on this side. So, Amethyst and the dirty brush that already has some pink to it. And then we'll do Amethyst with the clean brush. Okay, I did not think that this brush would be very good for blush because I am just obsessed with my Real Technique stippling brush for blush, and I didn't think that it would work because look how much longer it is. So it's quite a bit longer, so I thought the bristles would be too long to blend out, but I actually think I really like it. So that's a really good option for Sigma blush brush. I need to do some inner corner highlighting. So I'm gonna take my E56. This is what we use to apply Whisper Pink on my lids, and I'm going to use it to apply Whisper Pink right there on the inner corners. And since I have it pretty dark right there, I'm gonna focus more on that, right on that inner tear duct area and the bottom lower lash line. I feel like this makes a huge difference, especially when doing like that halo look. You really want to still brighten up that inner corner. I mean, you don't have to, but for me, I prefer it because my eyes are smaller and if I don't have a bright inner corner. Now I'm gonna take some silver shimmer, put that right over the top. Like this is kind of what I did for like Galaxy look. I feel a little bit like Xenon. The last thing I want to do is tie in a little bit of denim to my bottom lash line. So I'm going to take the E15, it's just a flat brush with some denim, and just press that up into my lower lash line, keeping it more just on the outer half of my eye. We're gonna do Undersense. I'm going to throw on some lashes because I feel like I'm kind of dying without lashes on. I'm gonna wear these Veronica lashes from VIXEN. They're part of a limited edition, so I don't think you can still get them, but I do have a coupon code for VIXEN lashes. I'll link it down there, along with everything else that I'm using and wearing. Since I don't have any liner across, I'm going to use a clear lash glue so that my lashes blend better. My favorite is the House of Lashes lash glue, so I'll link that in the description bar. I really like it because it has an iridescent kind of tint to it, and so you apply it and as it starts to dry, it goes more clear. You can actually see when it starts to get tacky, which makes it really easy to apply false lashes. I'm gonna take a little bit of just this Stila mascara. I want a non-waterproof mascara, just regular. Blend the two together. Lash Sense on my bottom lashes. Need a little bit of Pearlizer on my cheekbones. I've just been loving Pearlizer lately because it gives me just like a dewy, healthy glow to my skin, just like I look like I'm hydrated, which is what I need right now here in Arizona. I feel like I need that hydrated, healthy glow. which, oh, that was kind of a lot. Rather than like a harsh, intense, like unicorn. Okay, I feel like it only makes sense to do either Team Wicked or Violet Volt with this eye look. I really wish I was live so I could ask your opinion rather than just having to decide myself. Maybe I'll mix the two. I feel like Team Wicked would go really well with the blues, but also I love Violet Volt and tie in the purple. I'm doing both. I'm gonna mix them. We're gonna do it. Okay, so for mixing, use these little tattoo rings and I will link them down below. I also use lipstick applicators. So I think I'm gonna do mostly Violet Volt with like a little bit of Team Wicked. Scrape the product into the ring. And what I love about these rings is they are plastic. They're not going to start absorbing the alcohol. And so your lip sense color is going to stay wet longer. So you don't have to work super quickly like you would if you were like mixing it on a palette. And it's nice, it just keeps it right in place. If I fill up the whole ring with lip sense, then I usually get 3 applications out of that. So I don't really have to mix more. Okay, I did mostly Violet Volt, but a tiny bit of Team Wicked. To mix it, what I do is I take my applicator and I start mixing from the lighter color into the darker color. If you stick your applicator right into your dark color and mix it into the light, your applicator is gonna soak up mostly dark color and we want it to be more even. So we're gonna mix it from the lighter color into the darker color. Okay, I'm liking this. It's a really pretty cool toned purple, but I want it to be just a tad bit darker. So I'm gonna add just a little bit more Team Wicked. Maybe even more. I'm gonna do even more Team Wicked. I did not think I would want that much Team Wicked, but I really want it to kind of match my eyes more. That's the beauty of mixing too. When you're layering, it's hard to get the exact combo that you want. So I like to layer when I am like, when I pick a color and then I'm like, oh, I want it a little darker, I want it a little more pink or whatever, then I'll throw something else over the top of it. But if I'm going for a very specific lip color, then I always mix because I can get it to the color that I want before I apply it. Okay, here we go. This is it. Oh, I'm super excited about this. Wow. I want to do a little bit more of like an ombre. So I'm gonna take Team Wicked and just put it in the outer corners here. You guys are getting tons of tutorials in this video. Mixing, ombre, how to wear blue eyeshadow. Taking Violet Volt. That's gonna count as my second layer, so I'm gonna take Violet Volt and fill in where I didn't apply it so that I have a full second layer. Now, going back into my mixture. Okie dokie, topping off with good old trusty glossy gloss. P.S. note to self, make sure your lip sense is all the way dry before putting your glossy gloss on. Otherwise you'll get a pink wand, like me. Okay, this is the finished look. This is definitely out of my comfort zone, but you guys have been asking for some different stuff with different colors, and cool toned colors are super out of my comfort zone. So I really hope you enjoy it. Let me know in the comments below if you would wear this. I don't know if I would wear it out and about grocery shopping and stuff, but I really do like it and I think it's super fun. Even if you wouldn't wear this on a daily basis, definitely give this video a thumbs up and subscribe and save this video so you can use it next Halloween for your punk rock look, because I think it's super fun. It's out there, it's kind of edgy. So I hope you enjoy it. Let me know if you did. Thank you for all of your likes, comments, and subscribes, and I'll talk to you guys next time.